So if you don't have a copy of my book, well, first of all, why don't we introduce ourselves for people who are new to our videos so they understand who we are and what we do. So I am Kimberly Palm, and what do? I am a spiritual teacher and advisor to awake people on their journey. Basically, anybody who wants help on their journey, I help you and guide you. And Sarah, do you want to introduce yourself and what you do and who you are?
Well, you are so good at assisting people with the birth of their spirits and getting them to that place where they can feel comfortable. And as you know, what you do really complements what I do, and we've been doing this for a very long time now. And because you and I have been doing this since we were little girls, I mean, we were tiny. I feel that when God put us together and we became, close, it was just like, you helped me so much. When you told me about, and that's why we're here, we're talking about chakras, but you told me about my heart chakra. And you said, listen, you need to do something with the sorrow around your heart chakra. And, we have excelled in helping one another because you and I have had the same experiences: astral projection, astral traveling, dreams, clairaudience, the elements of things that people are now stepping into because that's their birthright. People are supposed to be able to talk to God, and they are supposed to not feel the sorrow from people who have passed because they're on doing better things. I mean, if I could show people what I see day to day, fine. But see, that's why we work so well together, because you are a spiritual midwife and I help the care and the feeding of that spiritual baby. But yeah. I want to start out, if we can, with our protection prayer.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
Can we tell our audience we're talking about chakras today? So for those of you who have asked, people have requested that I talk about this. This is something I've actually been teaching chakra balancing and healing since 2011, since February of 2011 is when I started teaching it. And it's near and dear to my heart because I've actually helped facilitate probably hundreds of healings over the years of people using the system that I use to help people on a mental and physical and spiritual level, which is amazing. And Sarah has been doing the same thing in her practice with her life coaching and spiritual guidance and stuff that she does, spiritual response therapy and all the things she does. She's also facilitating a lot of this work as well. And what's really cool about, as Sarah put it, her work and my work are complementary to each other 100%. Everything that she does balances what I do. And we don't really compete with each other because she has her unique methods that she uses, and her training is 100% different than my unique methods and training. But when you put the two together, it kind of makes a complete package. So somebody who works with both of us is literally getting the full enchilada with the olive on top, because she's helping you with all of your childhood drama and trauma and grief and shame and blame and just all your
it's cosmic triage.
Yeah,
one of the things that I have a real problem with, and I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to speak into that for just a moment, because the thing that I do with regard to cosmic triage is I really step in when you have a Band-Aid over a bullet wound. Right. Because I know that there are a lot of really, really well-intentioned healers and psychics and clairvoyants and really masterful people out there who don't mean to simply gloss over something that is really, traumatic, because they don't have the tools. And so they try to touch on certain elements of the ascension process that have to be addressed. And they're like, oh, well, you'll figure it out, because they did, right? And no.
Right.
So, and that's why we do complement each other, because you've sent a few people to me who have they're on that process. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to say.
Yeah, I don't do it. I don't go there. I don't do that work. Yeah, I don't do trauma work. I do not.
But people need to have a protection prayer. Okay. So that's one of the things. And when we start out doing any kind of chakra work or any kind of healing work, and this is I have a few of these left. So if you hit me up on Facebook Messenger or in Kimberly's Spiritual Growth Journeys group, let me know. And the first 20, because I think I have like 25 left, I'll send you one of these. Just, you know, you'll have to send me your address, and I promise, you know,
I have one. You sent it to me.
So we're going to go ahead. This is for the 7 sacred flames, and, you know, prayers are prayers. So, but this is for a force field of protection. So in the name of my beloved I Am Presence, from the very heart of God, I invoke an invincible shaft of God's first ray of protection to be placed over me. Let it surround every cell, atom, and electron of my being, encapsulating me in an invincible force field of God's holy will. Let this shaft of sapphire blue light expand into my various bodies and all my chakras. Cut me free from anything that is less than the highest light within me. Let the blue flame of divine love guard my force field of protection daily and hourly. I know that I am absolutely protected at all time and in all places. I express my deep gratitude for all assistance given unto me always. Amen. And when I say this prayer for the White Light Express, I always say it for us.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to pause this for just a moment because I realized I left my phone in my office, and I just know it's gonna ring. So hold on. Actually, you know what? I can edit this part out. Maybe. Just stare there and smile.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just like, you know what's gonna happen, right? All right, we're back. Boom. All right.
Yeah, I don't know how to edit videos worth shit. That's not my thing. I'm techie retarded, so I.
Well, yeah, it's really complicated, and the editing equipment that I have, but I don't want to waste too much time on that. So let's go ahead. This all started. Okay, this really started for me with, well, this all started before I was born, darlings. But I was noticing just a few weeks ago when I was working with some clients and even myself, right here, right? This spot
Mhm.
right here.
Yeah.
Woo, 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 woo. I was seeing this chakra, and it was like it was a few inches out further than just my chakras tend to be very close to my body, like a couple inches away.
Yeah,
And
mine are.
when I'm meditating and working on them, they're, you know, I can push them out like balloons. But this one, and I was like, ooh, just in time for fall colors, because my solar and my sacral were doing this like blending thing. And it
Oh,
was this
weird.
really beautiful little, and I was just watching it, and it was really solid. And I looked up and I saw that my clients were also, they had the same thing. And of course they couldn't see it because, well, you know, God blessed us with vision, darling, vision.
Right.
And then right here as well, you know, there was this element of my heart chakra and this solar place right here coming together. But then I realized that this chakra, this is called, Peter started making these stones years ago, 2 years ago in 2018, and they were called the Vega Ascensions for quantum light Reiki, which is a practice we're going to talk about later too, which is something that I've been, well, you know, I've been working on quantum.
Right, I've been working on it a while.
Yeah, but this one right here was a representation of the heart and throat chakra.
Wow.
Meaning that we now are free to speak our hearts, and with that protection and with the ability, so we have the ability to speak our heart's desires with truth and with safety and with light. So you take it from here, girl.
Well, for those of you who don't know what chakras are, or if you've had what I call fear-based church teaching that says, ooh, chakras are evil, bad things, I want to kind of explain to you what chakra is. Chakra is just a Sanskrit term for energy centers. We are all made out of energy, frequency, and vibration. In fact, everything in the universe, everything in all creation, all of God's creation is energy, frequency, and vibration. And the way that I see chakras, we have 12 of them. Actually, we have more than that now because now there's these new ones Sarah's going to talk about today. But up until Sarah told me about these new ones, which my team confirmed that she is 100% accurate. We now have new ones. So I asked and they're like, yep, you have new ones. I'm like, okay, yay. So before that, we had 12, and then there were 7 that I always worked on. And the reason that I worked on the 7 main ones is because they are like an interface between your emotional body, your emotions, your negative or positive emotions, conscious and subconscious. Oh, Sarah brought the chart out. Yay. So that's the chakra chart.
So it starts here at the bottom, the root chakra, sacral, solar, heart, throat chakra, third eye chakra, and divine chakra.
Yes.
So
yes,
I just wanted people to have a representation.
Thank you. That's beautiful. That's such a beautiful picture. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My little tapestry. So
that is so nice. Okay. I need one of those in
I'll get you one for Christmas.
my office. Okay. My birthday is coming up in a few
I know, right?
I'm going to be 5'5". I'm going to be the speed limit. So, anyways, so back to what I was saying is the chakras to me are your interface between your emotional body and your physical body. Because what happens with the chakras, which are kind of like in Chinese medicine when they do acupuncture, they talk about your chi or your meridians. It's kind of the same thing as chakras. It's just a different way to present it. But you have these energy flows and these energy meridians through your body. And each one of them resonates with a different organ or a different function in your body or a different interface in your body. And your entire system, of course, resonates with all the cells in your body. But each of those chakras has a different organ and health symptom, which is how I've been part of how I've been able to be medical intuitive, because I've been a medical intuitive for 10 years now, and part of how I use my medical intuitive abilities is through the chakras, through seeing where people's blocks are. Because, for example, if you're blocked in your throat and you have a thyroid problem, bingo, you can kind of say, all right, well, what sort of emotional things do I have going on in my life that affect my throat chakra? Well, throat is all about standing in your truth, being your authentic self, clearly speaking and freely communicating your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your beliefs, and your ideas to other people, and being able to express yourself, as Sarah said, from your heart, that heart-based expression, which most of humanity has an issue with. A lot of people have a real hard problem being able to speak from the heart, and that's because the control system, the controllers, the puppet masters that have been running this planet for thousands of years have taught us that we're not allowed.
They thought they were running the planet.
Yeah, they thought they were running the planet. They're not anymore. We're about to dethrone them, or we are dethroning them right now as we speak. Those controllers have put in all of these different religious systems and science systems and different types of systems to keep us under control, so that we haven't been able to fully express ourselves in our natural way, the way that God intended us to be.
Well, they try to condition and program us. But the thing that is the most important thing I'm the goddess of redundancy goddess. What we need to remember all the time is that no one controls our souls.
No.
Our soul is that divine spark, and it's
sovereign.
Never lost.
Sovereign.
Yeah, exactly. And even if the matrix were to fall, and the phantom matrix, and now I'm getting really way out there, but even if it were to fall, our souls would still be connected to divine source. But one of the things that I did want to talk about with regard to the chakras too is that even in the Bible, okay, because most of the Bible is in code. There's very little of it that's true.
Not in code.
Well, the New Testament is less in allegory. But if we look at the Old Testament, if we look at Noah, right? After the flood, what did God give us? The rainbow. And what is the rainbow? The chakra system.
The chakras.
And it's so now, because God, the great big is, never was, said, I'm never going to do this to you again. And now here you have this gift was what? The chakra system, the rainbow, because the light was different. And now the light is again different. I know this is pseudoscience for some, but for others not so much. If you look at as it is above, so it is below. Our new chakra system is resonating with our light bodies in the astral. How else are we going to be able to connect with them if we don't have these new chakras in alignment? So yeah.
Yep. So the important thing that I want people to understand is that with the chakras, you need to know, it's important to know what is in balance and what is out of balance. You need to keep them in balance. And what is in balance means, it means they are spinning clockwise in the right direction at the right speed. They're supposed to spin. If they're not spinning at all, then there's something wrong. They're supposed to spin, and they're supposed to spin clockwise. And if you have Sarah spinning in her chair, I love it. So if they're not, if your chakras are not balanced, and I want you to know what balance means, because there's some people who have an overbalance and some people who are underbalanced, some people who don't have enough in that area, some people who have too much. So I'll give you an example of too much or not enough. So the solar plexus, for example, has to do with our self-confidence. That's one of the things it has to do with. There's a lot of things.
That's that spot right here.
Yeah, it's the spot right where your stomach is, and it has to do with digestive system, pancreas, liver. A lot of functions in your body have to do with this.
Yellow, and it is your inner sun.
Yep, it's your inner sun. It is bright yellow. And the thing about that, so an overbalanced or an overly powerful chakra would be somebody who has too much confidence, somebody with a really big ego, somebody who's just a real overconfident, pompous, kind of stuffed shirt type of person. Those people have too much solar plex, like way too much going on there. Way too much.
Yeah, is that confidence going to warm your house or burn it down, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's either going to warm your house or burn it. It's kind of like if you made a fire in a fireplace and you stoke your fire and you do a little bit too much stoking and it burns your whole living room down, right?
That's your ego. Boom.
Yeah, that's ego right there. And so then you have the people like me who you try to start a fire, and I've had low self-esteem since I was a kid. And it's so funny, even though I'm an expert at chakra balancing, to this day, I have had one hell of a time getting my solar plexus to fully open and balance, because I'm a human and I'm still struggling with low self-esteem. I still have issues with that. And I still
That's why my daughter and I always joke with you, Kimberly. We think you need more yellow.
I need more yellow. Yeah, I've always had low self-esteem. I mean, I have a long story about why I have low self-esteem, and it doesn't matter. But the fact of the matter is, for me, it would be like I'm trying to light my fire and the fire won't light.
Corbin, I ain't got no fire.
I got no fire. Yeah. Think of that Jim Morrison song, The Doors. Come on, baby, light my fire.
The Fifth Element. But continue.
Yeah. So I don't have enough energy or chi in my chakra. I need more chi in my in my solar plexus chakra, where there's these people with these really big, huge egos who they have too much energy there. So they need to balance. So what does that mean? That means they might need an ego death. Maybe they need to go smoke some ayahuasca, or I don't know. They need to do something. I'm kidding.
They need to simmer down.
Yeah, they need to simmer down. They need to mellow out. They need to be humbled. My guides are telling me they need to be humbled. So basically they need to be humbled. They need some humility. They need
I suggest 6 months in food service.
Right. How about 6 months in a third world country, living in a little village, like in the middle of the Serengeti desert, where they don't get anything except what the villagers have for like 6 months, and they don't get their cell phone or their fancy food or their fancy suits.
It's not our job at this moment yet to figure out what that's going to look like.
Right. Yeah.
So many ideas, but continue.
Right. Yeah. So the thing is that you have to bring these chakras into balance. And the reason why it's important to have your chakras always in balance is, again, what I said before, is that your chakra system is the interface between your emotional body and your physical body. So what does that mean? If your chakras are not in balance, you will have health problems. Now, you may not have them right this moment, but if you continue on with a blockage that goes and goes and goes, eventually the blockage or the unbalance will turn into a physiological or mental health problem. So, like, mental would be if your crown chakra, which is your connection to God, or your third eye, if those are out of balance or blocked, you can wind up with mental illness problems. You know, you can wind up with schizophrenia or paranoia or bipolar or one of the, severe depression, severe anxiety disorder. There's all kinds of different things you can get. So it's really important to keep your chakra system squeaky clean. You need to keep it cleaned out, cleared, balanced, which is what I teach people. I do that with my clients. It's really important.
So one of the things that I want to do though, because you have a very specific, and it's really, I mean, like, hit Kimberly up for the balancing session, but the thing that I want to share with people is a very quick, because I'm not a master. The way that you meditate, again, I've watched you just drop into it, and it's phenomenal. For me, meditation is walking on the beach. It's I do my meditations differently. Um, but the thing that I think is most important, though, is to teach people how they can do a very quick chakra checkup. So the way that I do it is I just arrange them like little glass balls in front of me, all 7 of them. And so I'll focus on my root chakra first, of course, and I'll fill it with red. And, I'll just kind of breathe into it. And just, this is a visual thing. If you, here, darlings, here, have this marvelous glass. This is your root chakra. It's empty. Fill it with red. Like that. Red rubber duckies. But the thing is, if you can fill it then, and just take, 2 minutes just to sit there and just and close your eyes and think of it filling up with red. And then you put it out in front of you, right? And then you have another clear one. And then so you fill it up with orange because that's your sacral. And then yellow. And then green, then the blue, and then of course the it's like an indigo. I always want to call it purple because my when I see it, it's very purple, darling. But it's like this indigo, and then the purple, and then you just let them go, and it's like, and there it is, because you put that out to the universe. That's how I do it. Either that, or you just stuff all those balloons inside of you. But that's a very quick way to do it. Now, what you do, and I've watched you, it takes like an hour, right? Like
What, to do a chakra? To
yeah.
do a full chakra session, including because I scan people to find out what's out of balance, like actually scan all their
Right, but I
chakras.
mean the actual session itself, it takes about an hour.
About an hour.
Not
Yeah.
all the preamble, not the,
Mhm.
the pre-op.
Yeah, the whole thing from beginning to end, including being scanned and finding out what's wrong, explaining what's wrong, and then doing a clearing is a full hour.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
So so when I do spiritual response therapy or cosmic triage on my clients, it's like peeking under the hood and going, oh, your alternator needs to be tweaked. And so then I'm gonna send them off to you. But the thing that is so important though is even walking a labyrinth. Okay, walking
Yep.
a labyrinth is a really great way to, because every turn I'll focus on a different chakra. I've got my labyrinth out. Go to labyrinthlocator.com, or is it .org? Well, we'll put the links out there.
Might be .org actually, but
I think it's .org too. Here, you know what? We have the technology, darling. We have the technology. But
wow.
so yeah, we have these new chakras, and I know of at least 3 of them. And this one has really been, and I call it the Vega Sanction. It really, the light that it comes from, and for me, and I'll have to do a little bit more research on this, Kimberly. And we've talked about this for years, but
Yeah.
the first time I really saw that color was It was in 2000. We still had our gallery, so it was about 2018. It was mid 2018. It was right after that flood that we had. It was after the flood, darling.
Oh my gosh, right? The flood.
Right. And so I saw that, and so I kept hearing something about Vega, and I'm like, Las Vegas? Are you telling me? Why do our guides have to be so cryptic?
I don't know. They are though.
Well, sometimes. But yeah, so it was the first part of the Quantum Light Reiki that I, finished and downloaded and got everything ready as of January this year. But this was the first one, and this was and so Peter, Alchemy
So
Stone.
pretty.
Yeah,
So
he
pretty.
started creating these it was called the Vega Sanction. So it was so that our hearts and our we could speak with our hearts now without fear, because we have spent so many lifetimes being burned at the stake, being drowned, being beaten, being flayed, how many lifetimes do you have to go through suffering? I mean, even our saints.
Yeah, and that was from speaking from the heart. Those were people who were walking in their truth. It's like,
Yeah.
that, and that is why my last book, I told you about this, how I took my last book, which was channeled, and then I went and I did all this research. I had spent 5 years writing that book, but most of that was channeled. And then I had to spend an entire year doing scientific research to back it up. And the reason I did that is I was terrified of being burned at the stake, because I wasn't ready to come out to the world and say, hey, I channeled this book. I wasn't ready to.
That was conquering stress, right?
Yeah. I wasn't ready to. I wrote this book called Conquering Stress, and I wasn't ready to tell the world that this was channeled information. I wasn't ready to stand and be authentic because I was worried I'd be stoned to death.
You're the only person who's ever conquered stress.
Wrong. Wrong. But no, I mean, yeah, the truth is that I was afraid to come out about the fact that it was channeled. And so I went and I did all this scientific, and then I quoted all of these science studies throughout the book, and I wasn't being authentic and I wasn't speaking my truth. And that's because of all of the lifetimes where I was burned at the stake as a witch or something, because I was speaking my truth and I was standing in the truth, and I was punished for it. I was drowned in one occasion, another occasion I was burned. I mean, I've had that happen to me. And so
well, and not only that though, most of all, you have witnessed being an angel, being a guardian angel, and being part of that host. And I mean, we talk about this in spiritual response therapy too. I want to invite any of our viewers, if they have any questions about their past lives, or if they feel that they're being drawn in different areas and they can't quite figure it out. One of the things that I wanted to tell you, and it took you a while, my honey, where you were like, no, and I'm like, okay. But yeah, you had watched and guided so many people. You have not been here that many times. You don't need to be. I mean,
well, I've only been here. This is my 7th life in a body on Earth. It's only the 7th time I've been physically.
Yeah, and so regardless of that, though, the thing that is, though, you witnessed and attended to so many who had been harmed by speaking their truth. So I mean, that's cosmic PTSD.
Yeah, I watched traumatic situations over and over. I watched Yeshua get crucified on the cross, and so people who know me really well have heard my story. For those of you who haven't heard my story, for most of my life, every time I'd watch Easter Sunday, I'd watch the movies on TV, the Passion plays, the Passion of Christ, and the stories about Christ being crucified. I would have a trauma meltdown where I would just start bawling my eyes out. I couldn't even handle it. Like, it hurt my heart. It made me physically sick. It was just horrifying. And that was because I was replaying over and over the traumatic experience that I witnessed firsthand, because I was there at the foot of that cross.
Yeah, from beginning to middle to end. And then beyond that, though, too.
Yeah.
And there are very few people, a lot of people, I mean, millions and millions and millions of Christians, the Western civilization, have that empathic connection to the Christ story, to the crucifixion story, because that's, you know, years and years and decades and generations of programming. So a lot of people don't understand when you come across someone like Kimberly, and others who were there, which, you know, not everybody remembers being a starving Ethiopian child, but they remember being with Cleopatra. You know, I'm just like, oh my God, you know. But the thing is that there is a different energy and frequency and vibration, which is oddly enough my skill set, as Kimberly can, you know, attest to, and others. Yeah, I can see that little edge of, well, there's something a little bit more there than just witnessing something on television or being, you know, ingrained and programmed as a child. And one of the reasons why I love the LDS Church, by the way, the Mormons, is because, you know, they don't talk about the crucifixion. That is not Christ's legacy. Christ's legacy, or Yeshua, okay, because Christ means anointed, all right? Everybody should be Christed, but the legacy is that the core mystery of the blood, the chakra, you know, the element of, in that root chakra, that red, you know. And then, you know, what happened next? He rose again. He came, you know, he was resurrected. And so, but yeah, you had that pain inside of you, that empathic, and as an empath, and empath to empath, I was really able to, you know, kind of, I always look for the original hook when I'm working with people. It's like, what's the original wound there? And so, yeah.
Yeah, I had a really hard time with that though for a long time. And so there's you know, a lot of us, the whole point here is the fact that that whole new chakra that you're seeing that connects the heart to the throat, that new chakra, that is something that throughout history has been prevented over and over again. They have not allowed us to express that and experience that and to live that. And so now with this ascension we're going through, which is, you know, if you don't have a copy of my book, Ascension 101, A Roadmap for Your Soul, I highly recommend it as a guidebook to help you through this process. But as we're going through this ascension process, we are getting new chakras. We're getting our DNA upgraded from what, 2-strand to 12 strand or something like that, or something like that.
Well, when we say new chakras, let's be clear on that. These are chakras that we already have, okay? Yeah. It's sort of, if you were to envision a Christmas tree, and I hate to use the, well, okay, a string of lights. And so, you know, you plug in that string of lights and maybe 3 or 4 of them work and the others are out. But, you know, you replace the bulb. And not that you have to replace the bulb in your chakras. That would be funny.
I'd love to watch that happen. I would love to watch that.
To change the light bulb in your chakra. Get a twist.
I wish I could do it. I wish that was that easy, you know.
Well, you know, it can be. It can be if you know, there's this beautiful thing called faith. But anyway, so what is happening is that these chakras that we are already equipped with, okay, you know, our astral bodies, our light bodies are completely, you know, we have, so we're just lit up like stars, baby. But yeah, these chakras are now coming into not existence, but they are being utilized now more and more and more. And so those of us who are stepping into that 5th density, we get to use those more and more, and then thereby enabling others. You know, it's the opposite of herd immunity. The more light you have, darling, the better off it'll be.
Right. But I love that analogy of the Christmas tree lights, and then there's 1 or 2 out. So you've always had those lights there. It's just that they weren't switched on. So
right.
It's switching it on basically.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. I want
people to be clear 100%. That this isn't a new thing.
Yeah, it's not.
You fully ascend. And
you've always had it. It's just that it's coming online basically.
And here, you know,
in your body, in your physical body.
That's the miracle.
Yeah, I
So
know, because everybody always in the past thought ascension meant you die and then you ascend into heaven,
that's a
which
different kind of ascension.
that's a different type of ascension. And it's like I tell people, there's my book has the whole definition, a whole chapter of the definition of ascension,
It's a
but
better definition of enlightenment for
right,
everyone. It really
right.
is.
It actually, because it's basically a type of enlightenment is what it is. I mean, it's not going to be exactly what the Buddha had, but it's going to be a
No,
type a
he's a
type of
bodhisattva.
enlightenment.
Yeah, the Buddhas are bodhisattva. They're going to stay here forever.
Yeah, well, that's what their job is, right?
Right? That's bodhisattva. So
Yeah,
listen, we should
that's
probably end this now because otherwise it's going to go on forever because you and I could talk forever.
yeah, we could talk forever and ever, like 5 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours,
Yeah,
100
God knows
hours.
we have. The good Lord knows that we have. But yeah, if you want to get in touch with me, hit me up at cosmictriage.com, bluecollargoddess.com, supernatural passport. But send in your prayer requests to the White Light Express, whitelightexpress.org. From the new moon to the full moon, I sit in prayer daily, holding your requests in the light. And actually, I've been doing it since the pandemic, really since March. I have had these beautiful candles on my grotto. So, and thank you, Kimberly, for this opportunity. Thank you for continuing to reach out to me. Buy her book.
Yeah, and if you want to reach me, spiritual growth journeys with an s.com, spiritual growth journeys, that's my website. I've got private session info on there, all the different things I teach. I have like a menu of all my services that I offer my clients. I've got classes and workshops page on there. I'm going to be starting in 2021. I plan to travel the world teaching seminars and workshops, and I also will be doing online webinars and videos, and maybe some with Sarah. We'll both be teaching, hopefully.
Yeah, I plan to do
And
some of that traveling with you, darling, because
yeah,
I'm a rescue medium. I work with ley lines,
right.
and it's as my daughter says, my mom activates rivers.
Well, and my plan for all of you to know is I actually have other light worker, healer, goddess women who will be going with us. We're actually going to be going in a group, and we'll be doing a conference where we do 1 week or weekend workshops and seminars where everybody teaches on their different subjects. So you'll get like a whole menu and plethora of foods to try, as they say, or
Right? And I'm
yeah.
so excited because I'm part of the Consciousness Symposium for Learn It Live. So I'll put that, I'm teaching the Crystal Blue Sapphire meditation, which is part of the whole, getting those bits and pieces of yourself back. It's a very interesting and very healthy process for cosmic soul retrieval. And when we talk about the soul, I'm talking about the spirit, because your soul is always intact. Just know that.
Yes, your spirit and soul is always intact. It's never out of balance or anything like that. The chakras, and that's something, one last note to point out to everybody is your chakra system and your actual soul are two totally different things.
Oh yeah.
So it's important to understand that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just as this is your light body, remember, with a little red rubber ducky. And these are your chakras. And it's like you said, they've discovered at least 12 planets now in this
Right.
new era, and we have at least 12 new chakras, or 12 chakras. So you do the math on that. What is that, 5?
Yeah, we have 12 chakras. They found that there's at least 12 planets, and your body is a universe. If you think about all of the functions in your body, all the cells, all the mitochondria, all the, even like little amoebas that live on your eyelashes, like
But not
those
the
little
nanos.
bacteria.
Not the nanos.
The
Get rid of
nanos,
the
yeah.
nanos.
Yeah, no
Apple
nanos.
cider vinegar, darling.
Yeah, exactly. But your whole body is a universe. Your soul is even a universe. You've got all of these things going on within you that are just amazing. And that's why I have an issue with people who don't believe in like a God or a creator, because if you look at just the human body alone, it's a miracle. It's a total miracle.
Yeah, well, don't have an issue with them because you're just wasting your time. All that precious energy could go to, turning on your other chakras. People have a right to believe what they want. They really do.
That's true. That's
You know,
true. They have a right to believe. I
what they
just
want
don't
outside of my house.
understand it. But I don't understand the not seeing the whole creation, but I mean that's just my own, that's just me.
Yeah,
So
but
if they
you
don't
know,
want to
if
see
they
it,
did that, maybe they wouldn't be able to cure cancer or something. I don't know.
well, that's
I
true.
just I look at what people are really good at, and that's another element of the chakras.
Mhm.
Some people who do have those really huge, you know, solar chakras, like our celebrities and what have you. Well, not all of them. I mean, a lot of celebrities actually are pretty balanced, but a bit, you know, they wouldn't be able to do what they do because it takes some, you know, you got to have some moxie to go out there and do some of those things. So sometimes, you know, they need to sort of be brought back a little bit, but you know, God's got a plan for each one of us. I
Mhm.
do my best. I really do my best to not be, you know.
I try hard as a human to not judge anyone. I mean, there's always like a tiny amount or percentage of me that
I
wants to
judge
judge from being
out of
human.
everyone. Yes, I'm judging you.
I try really hard not to, but you know, human nature, we're going to do that from time to time. But I will say one thing, I totally have full respect for everybody's way to the truth. You know, your way is different from mine. God help you. I don't, or shall I say God love you? I mean, whatever you want to
And God
believe
help you
is,
too. But that's
yeah.
just it. If they are on the way to the truth.
Mhm.
And see, there's that element of the metaphysical. What is metaphysical? You know, it's not all, you know, my totem animal might be a rubber ducky, but I'm not a quack, okay? That's
Mhm.
just it. It's just, yeah, there is a real consciousness, a divide between the consciousness of the physical and the metaphysical. And that's where these new chakras are coming in to help. So
Right.
boom. All right,
Yep.
we're good.
Yeah.
Au revoir. Au revoir.
So that is all we have to say for today. Thank you for joining me on my channel. If this video has been helpful to you, please subscribe. Please hit the like button
Hit
so
the
it
like
shows up
button over
more.
there, or over
Yeah.
there, or over
Yeah, wherever the
there.
like button is, that way, hit the like button because then more people get to see the video. The more people that like it, the more people get to see it. That's how the algorithm works. And also hit the little bell so you get notified when more videos come out. And thank you so much. I am
You do this
grateful that you
bell.
all joined us here. Grateful for your presence. Yeah, the bell,
It
the
always helps
singing
if
bowl.
you have a singing bowl. All right, we're out of here. Au
Yeah,
revoir.
see ya. Au revoir.
Okay, good.